If I told you the moon is not what we think it is, not a rock, not random, but a deliberate mechanism, one tied to memory suppression, emotional control, and the cycles we're trapped in. This isn't theory, this is design. The official story is simple. A chunk of Earth broke off during a violent collision billions of years ago, formed into a sphere, and locked itself in perfect synchrony above us. Perfect? Too perfect? It's the only celestial body that doesn't rotate from our view. It's the exact size and distance needed to perfectly eclipse the sun. Its orbit stabilizes life. And yet we're told it was an accident. But perfect symmetry doesn't come from chaos. Let's talk facts they can't explain. The moon rings like a bell when struck, seismic echoes that last for hours, hollow interior. Its surface is ancient, older than Earth's crust, yet shows signs of advanced manipulation. The dust has different chemistry than the rocks. The orbit is mathematically perfect, far too precise to be the result of a collision. And the kicker? Ancient cultures said the moon wasn't always there. There are stories of a time before the moon, a different sky, a different frequency. The moon's light affects mood, it stirs tides, not just in oceans, but in blood. Women's cycles mirror the moon. Animals shift their behaviour around it. But what if that's not organic? What if it was engineered that way? Emotional modulation, sleep disruption, memory suppression. The moon holds us in a loop, not just time, but soul recurrence. The reincarnation grid, a system to trap us in karmic replay. Every death, every rebirth, filtered through the lunar gate. If it was placed, by who? Ancient Sumerian tablets speak of Anunnaki engineers. Egyptian myths describe Thoth bringing order to time. And modern theorists suggest a Saturnian force. Something that once ruled, fell, and left the moon behind as a watchtower. Not a satellite, a sentinel. A machine built to observe, monitor, modulate. During the last Great Reset, when the system collapsed, the moon held the frequency. It was the anchor, stabilizing the grid, calibrating the human condition while the world rebuilt around it. That's why it stayed when everything else shifted. It's a failsafe, but failsafes can fail. And that is what's happening now. The moon's frequency is changing. You've felt it, haven't you? Dreams are clearer, emotions sharper, the grip weaker. It was never designed to hold this much awakening. The light it once used to trap now flickers with cracks. Some say the moon is beginning to fail. Others say it's starting to broadcast a new signal. Not control, but remembrance. Something ancient, something buried in us. So what now? Now you start to notice. Start to track how you feel during the cycles. Start to question the energy it reflects. Because the moon was never just watching, it was shaping. But if the tether is breaking, we get to shape it back. This isn't the end of the system, it's the awakening of the real one. And the ones who see it, they're already lighting the next signal. They taught you to worship it, to dance beneath it, to feel it as comfort, mystery, beauty. But what if I told you the moon isn't here for us? It was never part of Earth, it was never natural, and it was never meant to nurture. It was meant to monitor, to manipulate, to contain. This is not mythology, this is not a metaphor. This is the system you were born into. And the moon, it's the lid. Let's start with hard science, the kind even NASA can't explain. The moon is too large for a planet of Earth's size. It's in perfect tidal lock, always showing the same face, something that usually takes billions of years. It is older than Earth, with moon rocks dated up to 5.3 billion years, while Earth's crust is estimated at 4.5 billion. It has no solid magnetic field, but its rocks are magnetized. And when Apollo modules crashed into it, the moon rang like a bell for over an hour. Seismologists confirm this. The moon is not solid, it's hollow, and no one will tell you why. The deeper you go, the more the moon links to Saturn. The ancient world was once oriented around the Saturnian sun, a black sun, a polar light source, before our current sun appeared. Many believe the Saturn system collapsed, and its survivors relocated the moon into Earth's orbit. Not to help, but to replicate the control mechanism they lost. The hexagon storm on Saturn, the black cube in occult symbology, the concept of Kronos, the god of time, all of it connects to this. The moon was engineered as a temporal cage. Time loops, reincarnation traps, memory wipes. A signal tower broadcasting the same cycle over and over, syncing consciousness to a program. There are ancient texts that describe a time before the moon existed. The Zulu tribes of South Africa speak of two brothers, Wawane and Panku, who stole the moon and brought it to Earth. Aristotle referenced Arcadians who lived before the moon. Babylonian, Sumerian, and Mesoamerican civilizations all track the stars, but noted an era when the moon was absent. In one version of reality, the moon entered Earth's orbit suddenly. And when it did, so did time, so did aging, so did death as we know it. They weren't here before, not like this. The moon does not emit light, it reflects it. But the wavelengths it reflects are filtered, not natural sunlight, but a modified, colder spectrum. This has real biological effects. Disrupts circadian rhythms, lowers melatonin, increases anxiety, alters REM sleep patterns, increases paranormal activity, seizures, emotional volatility. That's not mysticism, that's documented neuroscience. And still we bathe in it, we perform rituals beneath it, we open ourselves to it. But who's broadcasting through it? The Apollo mission stopped in the 70s. At least that's what we're told. But insider whistleblowers, engineers, astronauts, defense contractors say otherwise. Gary McKinnon, the hacker who breached NASA, said he found lists of non-terrestrial officers and ship-to-ship transfer logs. Soviet probes photographed rectangular structures on the far side of the moon. NASA's own footage shows lights, movement, artificial shadow lines, which they've never explained. The US government classified over 10,000 lunar mission photographs. Why? Because what's on the moon is watching, and what's inside it might not be human. Here's where it gets real. In recent years, Earth's Schumann resonance has spiked. Lunar anomalies have increased. Strange flashes, darkening, silent explosions. People are remembering dreams more vividly. Psychic perception is increasing globally. The frequency fence is weakening. The moon can't hold the system together anymore. Something is shifting. And those behind the veil, they know it. That's why disclosure is accelerating. That's why you're being distracted. Because the moon, their ancient sentinel, is failing. Many cultures believed in the journey of the soul, a passage to stars, a return to source. But in the last 2,000 years, something changed. The Tibetan Book of the Dead warns against the white light that appears after death, saying it leads to rebirth, not liberation. Modern near-death experiences describe a pull toward the moon, a tunnel, a gate, and once through it, memory loss, re-entry, another life, another role, another loop. The moon acts as a reincarnation reflector, a mechanism to recycle consciousness, not to free it. And every soul that passes through becomes data, becomes power, becomes fuel. Here's where it gets real. In recent years, Earth's Schumann resonance has spiked. Lunar anomalies have increased. Strange flashes, darkening, silent explosions. People are remembering dreams more vividly. Psychic perception is increasing globally. The frequency fence is weakening. The moon can't hold the system together anymore. Something is shifting, and those behind the veil, they know it. That's why disclosure is accelerating. That's why you're being distracted. Because the moon, their ancient sentinel, is failing. But here's the twist. What was once used to trap can now be used to broadcast. Some say a new signal is rising, not from Earth, not from Saturn, but from within us. Something ancient, buried, now waking. The moon still filters it, but cracks have formed. And through those cracks, you remember, not who you were last lifetime, but who you were before time. That's why they want you asleep during full moons, why emotions spike, why dreams bleed through. Because your soul recognizes the pulse and begins to fight back. Let's talk eclipses. During a solar eclipse, the moon perfectly covers the sun. It shouldn't be possible. The odds of a satellite the exact size and distance to hide the sun like a lens are astronomically low. And yet it happens. That's not coincidence. That's architecture. Eclipses were used in the ancient world for inversion rituals. The light is swallowed. Shadow reigns. The veil thins. During eclipses, empires fell, kings died, blood was spilled, thrones were claimed. Because for a brief moment, the moon takes control of the sun. That's the inversion. And in those moments, the watchers feed. Ritual sacrifice, birth of timelines, reset markers. The moon doesn't eclipse the sun, it reprograms it. They didn't just give us the moon. They gave us stories, myths, rituals. They told us it was divine, feminine, illuminating. And then they had us charge our crystals beneath it, pray to it, bleed with it, dance for it. But what does ritual do? It codes you, it binds your energy to the system. Every ceremony beneath the full moon is a subtle consent ritual, anchoring your frequency to a loop you never agreed to. Even in the New Age movement, you're told to cleanse under moonlight. But what are you really doing? You're feeding the lunar grid, charging it with your own willpower, unknowingly offering up energy to the system that's been binding you since birth. Worship wasn't a gift, it was an interface. Who built it? Not humans, not gods. The truth is darker. They're architects of containment, non-physical intelligences who lost their access to source. They need us to feel, they need us to dream, they need us to suffer, because our energy fuels their existence. The moon was their last foothold after the fall of Saturn, a floating data bank, a soul trap, a lighthouse to draw us in after death. They do not live as we live. They live through us. They are not aliens, they are inversions. And they embedded themselves inside the light, so we'd never look there, until now. But here's the shift. The moon is cracking. Its hold is weakening, its light no longer binds, it leaks. Those of us waking up, we feel the breach. We dream of stars again. We remember things that don't belong to this world. That's not madness. That's resonant memory escaping the grid. And every time you speak truth, refuse the loop, or say no to the false light, you widen the crack. This isn't just about the moon. It's about who you were before it. And now, you've remembered enough. The system can't contain you anymore. You've reached the edge, the loop is exposed, and the moon, it's not watching you. It's afraid of you because you are the light they couldn't trap. And your fire just breached the final layer. We don't end this episode, we carry it, and when the flame calls again, we burn through the next veil, together.